Hypertension is called the silent killer, not because the hypertension itself causes a whole lot of issues, but having hypertension can lead to a whole lot of medical issues, complications, and diseases. It wreaks havoc on the body, and the worse your hypertension is, obviously, the more havoc it's going to wreak. But what we do know is that hypertension can lead to some very serious conditions, issues with your kidneys, heart, vascular system. And so just by having the hypertension service connected, if down the line you end up developing these conditions that are commonly secondary to the hypertension, you're going to find it much easier to get those things secondarily service connected if that hypertension is connected, even if it's at 0%. So with all claims, even hypertension claims, typically when you file, your effective date is going to be the date that you first filed or the date you put on an intent to file. And if you've had to go through a couple of appeal cycles, as long as you kept that claim continuously pursued. But there has been some legislation that has done some things for people with hypertension. So as we know, the PACT Act came out in August of 22. And one of the things the PACT Act did was it added hypertension as a presumptive condition to those who are presumed exposed to Agent Orange. So we're talking about Vietnam era veterans, we're talking about Blue Water Navy veterans, and we're also talking about Korean DMZ and the locations that they added to the PACT Act. So Thailand, Guam, and then there's also a bunch of other little places that VA has recognized that Agent Orange or herbicides were used. So the PACT Act made a presumption that if you're exposed to those herbicides and you develop hypertension, they're going to automatically service connect that hypertension, which is fantastic. It allows people who have been presumed exposed to file those claims. And a lot of veterans, and if you're one of those veterans that has hypertension and developed, so if you develop hypertensive heart disease or chronic kidney disease, you can now go in, get that hypertension service connected, and then possibly get those other conditions service connected as well.
Hey, Nate here, Hill and Ponton's video guy. The video you just watched is expanded on further in this one right here. Learn something more, increase your rating. As Matt always says, knowledge is power. So go ahead,